I used to be able to read a book a month, and now I just finished a book yesterday. It took me a year to read. Yeah, we can't pay attention to anything for longer than 6 seconds or a few hundred words, and it means that we can no longer appreciate long forms of beauty.
Social media offers many benefits, such as staying connected with friends and family, accessing instant news and educational content, as well as expressing creativity. However, excessive use, especially of short-form content, may also have downsides, including potential effects on our attention span. So is endlessly scrolling through social media giving us a popcorn brain or goldfish memory? In other words, is brain rot real? And is our attention span shrinking due to constant exposure to short-form content? So the term popcorn brain was first introduced by researcher David Levy in 2011, referring to scattered thoughts and a tendency for your mind to quickly jump from one topic to another, kind of like popping popcorn.
I used to have like cooking books and I'd read the instructions, or I'd have, the websites and you would read it. Now I just won't read it, to be honest. I'd rather watch a TikTok video where I can visually see it. If I do want to listen to a book, I have to now, if I actually want to finish it, I have to listen to it Audible. And I do that like on the train when I go for walks, and then that way I feel like I'm hitting two birds with one stone. So it's all about efficiency.
I have noticed that using social media might have decreased my attention span over the years, but I don't know if it's a real phenomenon or whether it's the fact that my brain is just getting accustomed to the things that I consume.
Whether or not our attention span has diminished to watch something that has meaning will depend on whether or not that program or whatever had meaning in the first place, right?
But is there a way to return your attention span to normal? Or is popcorn brain a permanent phenomenon? Well, first of all, there isn't a single, definitive neurological explanation of attention. But one thing's for sure. Neuroplasticity allows our brains to adapt to the information we choose to consume. Choosing to engage with short-form content is a conscious decision, but relying on it too much can make us dependent on instant gratification. However, think about the times when you watched the whole season of your favorite show in one go, or read a book about something you're truly passionate about. This suggests that our attention span is flexible, even if it's difficult to define neurologically. But are there any strategies to help us from getting sucked into the rabbit hole of the internet and short-form content platforms?
I use social media up to 6 hours a day, but I have the time limit reminder thing, and it just keeps reminding me, hey, you've been on it for 5 minutes straight, maybe you should get off it. So that does help a bit, actually.
Sundays is like my rest day where I try not to touch my phone or be on social media. So one day a week I'm not on social media.
Well, I muted my notifications so I don't get any unless I go to the app. So that helps me to stay focused if I'm doing a certain task.
What I do is really extreme, and I leave my phone at home and I go to a different country so I'm not tempted to use my phone. I've done that a couple times. It's pretty extreme, but you feel great afterwards.
Many of us use smart devices and social media exactly the way tech companies want us to, constantly. However, while there is no definitive scientific proof that our attention spans are shrinking permanently, compulsive social media use may have negative consequences on our ability to focus. Luckily, our brains are adaptable, and how we engage with digital content is ultimately a choice. Perhaps the real challenge isn't just about reclaiming our attention spans, but about learning to slow down, be present, and intentionally choose how we engage with the world around us.
I'm trying to learn to be more present because I feel like throughout the day I'm constantly, somewhere else, or my mind is somewhere else. So those days, like those Sundays that I have off, is just really like a date with myself. And it's nice not to think about things. And I know it's so simple, but it's really hard to be present. At the moment, it's very much like instant information. I'd be curious if we can just slow down a bit, but I feel like that doesn't really exist anymore.